His whole idea was he sells you an app that tracks your sports cards as if it was a stock. Obviously, at that point in time, you're saying that it is a stock, right? Long story short, at the end of the day, I lost a lot of money investing in sports cards because it wasn't something I understood.
Is it possible to love the content a creator puts out, but still question their ethics? Geoff Wilson, the sports card investor, is both admired and criticized, and for good reason. From big money moves to controversies over trust and reliability, in this video, I'm presenting an argument for why a lot of people are vocal in their criticism of Geoff Wilson, and how a lot of people who enjoy his content are made to think that expressing support for him is a crime in and of itself. And the first question we gotta ask is, what makes him unrelatable to the average person? I've broken it down into 5 main reasons. The first thing that the average person can't relate to is Geoff's career and business experience. He is no stranger to building businesses. During my research, I learned that his career started with a 7-year run owning Ben & Jerry's franchises, a venture that interestingly shares some DNA with his current work in sports cards. Both are driven by a passion for creating experiences that people enjoy, but his ambition has always gone beyond the basics. From there, he launched and later sold 352, a digital marketing agency. The company helped brands navigate the evolving digital landscape, and it's clear Geoff learned how to apply this expertise to his ventures in the sports card space. But before the sports card space actually came another endeavor called the ILS Network, which is a company focused on matching renters with apartments that fit their needs and budgets. This wasn't a flashy industry, probably wasn't very gratifying for Geoff, but it was profitable, and it honed his ability to create systems that connect people to solutions, a skill that he's now brought to platforms like Market Movers. In 2019, Geoff launched Sports Card Investor, a brand that's grown into multiple YouTube channels, The Geoff Wilson Show, Card Kids, all centered on the hobby itself. Geoff's resume shows he's a builder, always looking for the next challenge, but does that ambition make him relatable to the average collector? No. The second reason is his relentless ambition versus the small pockets of us average collectors. Geoff's drive for more is inspiring in the same way that it could be if you really valued Tom Brady as inspiration, but for many in the sports card community, it can feel a bit disconnected. The average collector isn't spending 6 figures on a card, or even 5 figures, or creating tools to dominate the market. They're just looking for joy in a hobby that they love. And that's where that disconnect happens. While Geoff's platforms are built to help collectors make informed decisions, they also cater heavily to those with deep pockets and leave smaller collectors wondering, am I really part of this conversation, or am I just an audience for the big spenders to take advantage of? And number 3 is high budget content. Let's talk about the production value. Let's get real. Geoff's videos look and feel like they're made for a high stakes boardroom. The crisp editing, polished visuals, professional delivery, they all elevate the content, but they also can create distance. For some viewers, I think it's inspiring. For others, it feels like a reminder of how different Geoff's world is from theirs. When every video screams big budget, it's hard for the average collector to feel seen. The fourth reason why the average person can't relate to Geoff Wilson is the deep connections that he has. One of Geoff's strengths is his ability to network. He's built connections across the sports card industry, from major brands to influential figures, and these relationships give him access to insider info and opportunities most collectors could never dream of. But those same connections often fuel skepticism. When you're so deeply tied to the industry, can you truly be a neutral voice? Critics will always argue that his partnerships and product promotions can blur the line between education and marketing. And the last reason is the monopoly factor, the 1% factor. With his platforms, tools, and influence, Geoff has become one of the most dominant voices in the sports card space, whether you love him or hate him. For some, that's a good thing. It's brought structure and visibility to the hobby overall, but for others, it feels like too much power is concentrated in one person's hands. When someone has the ability to shape trends and valuations, and also video thumbnails, so many people are using his face in thumbnails, including me, with this video. It can leave collectors questioning the fairness of the game itself. But then, there's the PPP loans thing. Geoff has faced scrutiny over his company's use of Paycheck Protection Program loans, or PPP loans, during the COVID-19 pandemic. His former marketing firm, 352, received a $1.1 million PPP loan, which was forgiven on February 3rd, 2022, as reported by Sports Card Radio. Critics have questioned whether the PPP loans were appropriately utilized, especially given Geoff's massive investments in high-value cards during the same period. For example, in April 2021, he purchased a 1986-87 Fleer Jordan rookie card for over $500,000. But by January of 2024, that same card's value has declined to $216,000, indicating a substantial loss. And these concerns have also been amplified by discussions within the card community, with some people alleging that Wilson may have misused those PPP funds for personal investments, rather than for sustaining employee payrolls as intended by the program. Geoff has since denied those allegations, maintaining that all PPP funds were used appropriately to support his business ops. This controversy really has sparked broader debates about ethical responsibilities of business owners who received those PPP loans. I think the government has their hands full for the next 10 years worth of cases of recouping money that was wrongfully loaned out to a lot of shady business owners, particularly those who made conspicuous personal expenditures during the same time frame of their loans. And for others, it's been their worst nightmare.
Being a great guru like sports card investor, I thought, wow, look at this draft class. Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Trevor Lawrence, right? Davis Mills. I thought, wow, look at all these QBs, right? Let me just buy packs of this class. And in my mind, it didn't. I mean, in my mind, there was no way it would not work. When you invest in something you don't completely understand, that's where you can make a lot of mistakes. You feel like, oh, hey, look at this rookie class. Look at all these QBs.
What's the point of all this? Well, the truth about Geoff Wilson seems to be complicated. On one hand, does he generate a ton of quality content that does leave viewers with a positive, lasting effect? Yes. On the other hand, does he also possess the qualities of someone who would look to make top 1% profit at almost any cost? Yes. Is he someone that would be capable of pumping and dumping before realizing just how much that would actually affect others in this space negatively? I think maybe. I believe the reason he didn't want the videos of him pumping up players was to try and erase damage he had already done. And while I think Geoff has good intentions overall, it would be hard for me to feel like I could relate to him because of how much more money seems to be prioritized in his world. If you enjoyed this video, I think you might also value a little bit of a palate cleanser. Sports Card Dad is one of the most valuable creators I've ever come across in my time watching content. And I really just think if you're looking for someone else that can really be a guiding light for you or someone that can help keep you in check, Sports Card Dad has some amazing content. So you could check him out and also check out my video where I talked about him.